Hey there everyone, Jim here. I'm just gonna record a video real fast of some of the weirder things I found while playing this game and speedrunning it. There are quite a few things that I found that weren't really useful in speeding up my game any, but I still found them interesting enough that I wanted to show them off. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with this
Imperie
first one.
Sporanion el Barai.
It's just a bit of a glitch in, I think, the way Source Engine works. I don't think it was the developer's fault in this case. Basically what happens is, this is Temple 1, right after the start of the game. You talk to the Scrabulator, and it starts moving. And if you stand in front of it like this, and then you aim forward and you shoot, it, well, first of all, it kills the guy behind you, like as if you were running into him. And it does the firing sound on the gun, but you'll notice I still have all 5 bullets, so it doesn't actually use any ammo. For this next glitch, I'm here on CC Sheep, Electric Sheep. And this glitch, again, isn't useful really to anyone, but I found it pretty funny. It's really easy to replicate too. You just have to run over here right at the start. Turn on super jump ability, and you just sort of jump around this balcony like this. And you get all the way up in this corner. And you can actually land down here. Normally if you fall, you would hit something called Trigger Suicide, which is an entity that is in all the pits in the game, that if you hit it, basically you die, and it'll respawn you at the start. And if I moved out into this middle area, I would actually still die. But apparently the mapper who did this didn't extend it out all the way to these edges, so you can run around the edge of the map like this. Even though there's not anything down here, and there's nothing useful to be gained from this, as far as I could tell. And that's about as far as you can go. You hit that point, and you die. Here we are at Tutto 2, aka Tutorial 2. It's basically the third map in the game, I believe, yeah. Okay, and this trick you can do pretty much anywhere. It just involves talking to someone. And you see this text window here. This was changed in one of the latest patches. And they made it so you can't use your arrow keys anymore to answer questions for some reason. But a glitch that they added that I'm pretty sure wasn't there before was, because of the way they're doing it now, this whole thing, it's invisible, but there's a big screen here basically that covers the entire view area of the player, and that has this text box and stuff in it. And you can actually adjust it. And let me see if I can do this. I can bring up this menu over here that says minimize, maximize, and close, but none of these actually do anything. I'm actually at the top left of basically the huge text box that's covering the entire screen. And if I drag this, you can see these arrows here. I hope that shows up in the recording. I can just drag this around, and it'll screw up things pretty bad. And you can't actually fix this without restarting the entire game, as far as I can tell. So it's sort of a ridiculous glitch that you can anyone could do pretty easily. And now I'm actually stuck in that, so we're just gonna reload the level. And I'll show you another related glitch. Okay, here we are at the end of Tutto 2, and I just wanted to show off another trick that's very similar to the last one, which is where the mission briefing screen comes up like this, and it actually has the same properties as the text box, so I can do like this and screw it all up. And it also has the close dialogue. Actually no, you know what, it doesn't. That was one of the differences I noticed, but that doesn't have any effect on the game either. It's just visual, and again, you would have to restart the game to fix that. So here we are on New Eden, in the sewers actually. You can see this part of my speedrun. This is a trick that basically just removes your model for your weapon. If you have a placeable object like this in front of a ladder and you try to grab the ladder like this, it sort of messes up the game. So now you can see I don't have a sword, but I'm still holding it. And if I charge it up, the particle effects and stuff are there, but the actual model isn't. So it looks like I have a cool lightsaber thing, although sadly it's actually kind of screwed up. I can't even hit the walls or anything here. I'm not really sure what's up with this hitbox at this point, but I'll definitely have to investigate this more later. It's pretty weird. Here we are on Temple 6. It's right at the end of the game. if I kind of have to do this quickly. You may have seen it there. There was a little icon there in the bottom left. I'll actually do this again. Watch carefully this time. This only appears for a few moments. I'll try to capture it well here. You can see right in front of me, there, that little symbol that flashed right down there. Now what that was, I was really curious. This shows up in everyone's game, so people who have played this before might have noticed it and wondered what exactly it was. So I decided to do some investigation and find out. One of the neat things you can do, first of all, let me turn on cheats, and also turn on developer mode. What this does is it outputs some stuff to your screen, and specifically it lets you use this command called ENT text, which I'll show off here. And what this does is it puts this text box, floating text box, on your screen, and whatever you're pointing at when you use it, it shows the properties of the entity. It's not really that useful, but it can show some cool stuff sometimes. So if we reload the level again, and we run over here, we see it's right there. I think I got it lined up. And if I hit this, oops, I reloaded the level. I did not mean to do that. Let's see if I can get it right this time. Right about there, I'd say. Yes, there it is. And you can see that there's an entity over there called info temp sellers at the origin position. And I wonder what the heck that was and what it was for. I assume it's for loading the seller data for some reason, I don't know, but then it immediately gets rid of it. So to show off another quick trick you can do is we're going to reload the level one more time, and this time we're going to start a demo by typing record and then the demo name. Just going to go ahead and put temp. So that reloads the level one more time, and then it's recording this demo. So there, we can see that icon show up. So we're going to go ahead and stop recording, and then we're going to load up the demo UI. Now this will let us play back a demo, so we're going to load the demo we just recorded. And then we're just going to go ahead and let this move a little bit, and then there. You can see it there on the demo. We're going to get this right here. As soon as the icon pops up, we're going to try to pause this. There. Now, you may not be able to tell what that is from far away, but if I do drive, I can sort of no-clip around. You can't normally no-clip in this game, but if you record demos and do this, you can. And also this lets us freeze a moment in time and we can no-clip around in. So we're just going to go over here and see what this is. Go ahead and fly through a few walls here. I can already tell you right now that there's nothing there. It's just blackness. It's not even in the map really. There's not a room or anything. But just so you can get a better look at this icon, I'll get a little bit closer. At first I was curious why they would make an icon just for this specific thing that players weren't even supposed to see. But whenever I got closer, I found out that it was, in fact, just all the other icons stacked on top of each other. You can see the gun and the gear and the the other weird symbol there. I believe that's like a Greek letter. I'm not exactly sure. And there's nothing here, at least not that I can see. So there's that. I mean, it's sort of a cool thing. It gives you a little bit of an insight into how this game was made, but it's not exactly useful for anything. So here we are. We're actually back on New Eden now. You can do this again on any map. This is just one I happened to choose. This is related to hacking. I was messing around with the hacking interface, and something interesting I found is that if you try to possess yourself, nothing will happen. Actually, none of these commands will do anything to yourself, but in this case, if you try to possess yourself, and then you click on another thing, before it actually goes through, it'll switch and it'll possess that item. This is a good way if you ever need to possess something and you don't have the hacking skill to pull it off. Oh, and there's an error that shows up because of we have developer mode turned on. You can actually see there's a physics error there with the weapon. But just to show this off again, you just click yourself and you do possess, and you do attack, and you start clicking on the thing you want to possess, and then it'll switch over. So that's pretty cool. Again, possession in this game is really not a very useful thing to do, even in a normal, just regular playthrough. So I mean, that's probably not going to get much use, but I figured that was a pretty funny thing to show off. Here we are again. We're at the first level of the game, CT Tutto. This is a trick I found when I was just looking around for, again, just anything I could find that was odd. I went ahead and got here and I sent the elevator up to do this trick. In order to do this, or to show this off first, I guess, I'll show what I did, which was I spawned some clones here. And I thought, okay, this will be funny. What happens if I try to bring the elevator down on their heads? I figured it would just, whoops, I figured it would just kill them. And I ended up for a bit of a surprise here. To be honest, the first thing I did was that I tried to put some props under it. And what happened was kind of what you would expect. They went shooting out all over the place. And that was kind of funny. But, I mean, it wasn't very new or anything exciting. So then I tried putting a person under it, like this. And I figured, okay, well, it'll just kill the guy. And that'll be that. Then I was really surprised when this happened. He sunk into the ground there. This guy is doing something, but I mean, this poor fellow. I mean, we'll send this back up, help him out. Oops, that's again the wrong button. I really need to stop doing that. Now he's angry. But yeah, you can see he's just jammed into the ground here. He's really stuck in there. So I thought, okay, if that's what happens to NPCs, I mean, surely a player wouldn't get stuck in the ground like that. I mean, it'll have to kill you. I mean, that just makes sense, right? So I actually forgot about this for a while, and I thought, well, I'll come back to this later and see if there's anything interesting with it. So eventually I did. I came back and I thought, okay, let's see if this thing will jam me into the ground. So I stood somewhere around like this. I'm going to go ahead and duck so that this thing doesn't push me out of the way, which it will. It'll try to sort of shunt you to the side once it gets down to you. But if you're successful and it doesn't send you up through the elevator, which has happened to me a few times and I get stuck, this will happen here. You see up in the upper left it says ignoring player blocking train, and it's getting kind of angry. And the upper right you can see that it says that some bad stuff is going on. But if I just sit here for a while, hopefully it'll start pushing me into the ground. This glitch is a bit iffy. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. When it does work, it's pretty funny though. Right now it appears to be stuck, so at this point I'm probably going to just cut into a clip of the successful train sticking procedure. Okay, Jim here again, just a quick edit. I got it to stick me inside the wall of the train. You can actually see here where I am. Basically, I'm stuck in this bottom right-hand corner of the thing. And I'm basically stuck here. I can't get out or do anything, so I'll have to restart the level at this point. Oh, here we are. We made it. We are down underneath the surface of the ground here. You can see it's kind of pushing me along. It's trying to push me out, actually. And it might succeed, I don't know. But you can see there's basically this water texture under here, which comes from this lake over here. And that extends off for a while, but even if there was a way to get farther down, there doesn't seem to be any way to get anywhere from there. So it's just a funny glitch with the way this elevator was set up. And just for reference, if you put a prop underneath yourself when you do that glitch, it will in fact crush you violently. And here we are for our last glitch. Again, this actually isn't a glitch, this is a mapping error. And to be able to see it a little bit better, I'm going to do a few things. First of all, I'm going to turn on matte full bright, which lets us actually see the levels. A lot of people I think who have played this game have never actually seen what these levels are supposed to look like because they're so dark. And another thing I'm going to show off real fast is matte wireframe. Now this shows the level as a wireframe. You can still see some of those textures. But there's one thing I want you to notice, which is these pinkish lines would normally be the terrain, meaning that it would be everything that you would normally step on. But the way they designed this level was that the terrain itself is just a base thing at the bottom of the map, and the actual terrain that you walk on are these white lines. Now, I'm not exactly sure what these are. I haven't used the Hammer Editor before, but the way that the pink is designed is so that there's no gaps in it, meaning there's no way that the player can get out of bounds, basically. But with these white ones, it doesn't check for that as far as I can tell. So if we turn this back off, you can see here that right at the bottom of these steps in Noctis, where we are, there's this huge gaping hole in the land right here. And I actually never saw this. I think it's because if you have Fulbright off and you come down there, you won't really see it. It's pretty dark and you're looking up this way. So one day I finally just noticed this here, and you can just crawl right in underneath the land and it'll drop you a little bit. I'm sure plenty of people who have played this before have probably noticed this. It's pretty obvious when you know it's there, but for some reason for a long time I just didn't see it. Now, another thing you may notice is that I do have E.Y.E showing up on my screen. That's because I turned off the AI just so I could get here without dying horribly constantly, which is another useful command if you're trying to explore the levels like I was. There's this invisible wall right here that you can't walk past, and there's another one a little bit farther down here. Right about here-ish. There. You can see I'm not moving forward anymore. And then there's this wall right here, which normally you can't move through, but you can walk around the back of it. And I am actually behind it right now, though you can't see it, and you can move back through it to the left like this, or you can try. It kind of freaks out. And there's nothing over there either. But one trick you can do, there is actually a way to get over there towards normally where I would go in my run, but you have to cheat, which is to change the gravity to some really low number. I can just put it at 0. And you jump up here, and way up here you can actually get above the invisible wall, and there's another floor up here, as you can see I'm standing on now, and this extends all the way back over there to the rest of the level, although you can't return to this part of the level back where we started. You can't actually do much from underneath the ground. I suppose you could kill the one NPC I normally talk to go to the next level, but that doesn't do anything. And considering the only way I could get here, and I tried quite a few ways, was to use cheats, it would never be used in something like a speedrun. But this glitch is, well, again, it's not a glitch, it's a mapping error, but it feels like a glitch. This is really pretty much the biggest and most obvious one in the game, and it's really surprising, I guess, that in all the patches they've released for this game, which they've released quite a few, no one ever thought to fix this. Or maybe no one ever noticed it, I don't know. But one last thing I guess to show you before this video ends is if you try to walk right on this edge right here, where this wall is, like this. Let me see if I can get it. It's kind of hard to do, I think. I've gotten it before. Oh, well, maybe not. What a shame. Basically, if you walk into that edge at the right angle, it will actually stick you inside the wall, and you can't get out. You actually get stuck inside this wall here, which is pretty funny. So you can actually crawl through it, sort of, if you duck and jump. But it only works from the right side. It doesn't work from the other side. See, I'm pushing against it here, and then I duck, or, yeah. There, and I'm actually stuck. You can see up there in the right-hand side, it says server stuck on object, 0. And that's me, because I'm the server in this case. But, yeah, thanks for watching and having interest in this, I guess. I Divine Cybermancy is an amazing game, and despite all the things I've shown, it's actually really fun and a pretty solid game, so I think you should definitely check it out if you're at all interested in these kind of weird first-person shooter games. So until the next speedrun I release or something like that, I'll see you later.